Right, for this afternoon's next project on the EA 5-speed Falcon wagon, we've ditched the big 15-inch clutch fan. It normally bolts on the front of the power water pump there, and we're going to install a single 16-inch 12-volt draw-through thermoelectric fan. So first thing you need to do is remove your shroud and your fan, which I've already done. Next thing you want to do is this little divider in the centre of the radiator has to get out of the way. This will cause the fan to not sit flush on the radiator. You really need it to sit flush on the radiator, otherwise it won't draw air evenly. Cut that off. Okay, so what you're going to need is a 16-inch thermo, some cable ties, some electrical crimps, a wiring kit and relay. This one, for instance, is a LED light bar wiring kit and relay. It just gives you this simple little push button switch with an on and off illumination on it. That's going to go inside the car, up near the steering wheel. Got a bit of double-sided tape to mount it. The relay is going to go down here, clutch to the battery, keep all the cables short, hook straight up to the fan, and I shall manually switch it when needed. This thing will idle for 20 minutes by itself. On a cooler day, before it's above what you'd start to worry about normal operating temperature, it'd only be an issue if you were towing and then start stopping in traffic. But any frontal airflow goes pretty much directly onto the radiator in this machine. Yeah, let's get running some wires and mounting this thermofan. Right, so I've cut that pesky mount off, put it in our way. Next thing you want to do is find a good position for your thermo to sit. Now ideally you'd sheet the rest of the radiator off so all the air drew through the radiator, but when have a look at the size of this thermoelectric fan on the radiator, it covers quite a big proportion of it anyway. Like so. Let me show you what the gears and vehicular hydraulic looks like. That's between the radiator and the air conditioning condenser. Right. Go through and suck all that up, because none of that is helping my cooling system. Just when I thought I was going alright with moving the radiator to fit a new thermo, I found a leak at the very top of the radiator up there. I don't know whether it's something I damaged or whether I twisted or bent the radiator and it started leaking, but it started leaking. So I've gone over and pulled the one out of the purple machine, which I know is in good condition. It is an automatic radiator, so it does have a heat exchanger in it, but that's not going to get used. I've then gone ahead and pulled the air condenser and air dryer out. That's the one on top. To make some space. So now we've got clean, clear, open run to put this new radiator in, put the thermo on while the radiator's not in the engine bay. Make it nice and easy as well. And then we wire it up and fill it up, and where we go. That radiator was full of crud. The amount of brown horrible that's washed out of it is unbelievable. Now if you're a Falcon owner, and your Falcon's got an aircon condenser in front of your radiator, you need to check between the two. Undo your radiator and lean it forward. Heaps of that fell off before I got to where it is now, and there was heaps more of that. So I'm going to suck all that off there, get that clean. I'm going to mount some thermos next. Let's get our thermos mounted. We will put the radiator back in, fill it back up with a water glycol mix and test it. Alright, that's our final position for our thermo fan on this new, no not new, the next radiator. One that doesn't leak. So we're simply going to thread gently through the cores. Nice thin little cable ties. Heaps easier to do like this when it's not stuck in the car. Don't go crazy, you've got plenty of points to secure it with. There's these 3 nice big tabs hanging off the side of this one. It's more than enough to secure this one to the radiator. I'm going to spread the load out over a couple of the cores. So this was the initial plan when the other radiator was still in the car, but doing it in the car was nowhere near this easy. Trim up all your cable tie ends square so they're not sharp, so they don't cut you at a later date when you're trying to work on it. Now that's suspended nicely across there. This is like a 3500 CFM 16-inch electric thermo. It's quite a big fan. As you can see, you wouldn't get 2 on there if you spaced them. I've seen 2 12s fit on these before. One high, one low kind of thing, with it plated off, but this will be more than sufficient for the job. It is manual as well, so it doesn't have auto transmission load and auto transmission cooler actually heating up the cooling water as well. Like after you've gone and towed something heavy up a hill or whatever, driving around town, shifting up and down gears. So we'll plumb this back up, put it back in, and we'll do some wiring. Right, last but definitely not least, in positioning the radiator and putting it into its back into its home, is this. Doesn't look like much, just looks like a silly rubber that a lot of people would throw in the bin. If you think that, that is a very, very, very big issue. This little rubber plays a big role in stopping the air sneaking around the front of your radiator. So your frontal air pressure comes in from your road speeds, that's 100 kilometers an hour wind. Comes in your grill, comes in under the front of your bumper, hits your radiator, and naturally it's going to want to take the easiest path. If you've got a big gap in front of the top of the radiator, that's where it's going to go. That'll stop a lot of that. Alright, so we've got rads all back in. We've got two big hoses and a small one on the side down there. We've just got to get this little fella off as well. Secure him off with a nice little hose clamp that's on him, and then we can proceed to fill the header tank with clean water glycol mix. Mix it to your whatever the specs say on your bottle. For your car manual might say something different, and mix it to whatever the specs manufacturers say. They've paid the big bucks to make sure that the things keep working. So generally they get it pretty right. Righto, fluid time. So the almost finished product. Radiator changed out. Thermo mounted on the front of it. Air conditioning work. Pipe work. Dryer. Condenser evaporator. Pulled out. Wiring that isn't cable tied in properly yet. All done. Gives us a relay. Gives us the fuse. Control that. Wiring to our dash and console, done. Cable ran through the car to this neat little switch, which gives you a clear on and off LED. I can actually feel the heat coming off that under the car on my legs straight away. I'll tie the wiring up, put the current clamp on it, test it for draw, and it'll be all done. Thanks for watching. Bit of a fun little project to tidy things up. Unfortunately the other radiator was stuffed, or close enough to, and I've damaged it, but this will definitely keep the temperatures down, whether I'm towing or making it work a bit harder than normal. But yeah, job done. Thanks for watching.